I think it's also really important for veterans to speak out because it gives the general population hope to think, wow, if they can overcome all of that propaganda, all of the lies they've been fed, then there's hope for humanity as a whole. So I'm Rebecca Roberts. I joined the military when I was 17. I enlisted in the Air National Guard, part of the Air Force. So I grew up in a very conservative household. I grew up on Fox News, and I was watching like a lot of military shows and stuff, and I was like, that looks so cool. I never really questioned it growing up. I thought we were just over there fighting bad guys. I believed it because that's what they said on the news, that's what the government said, and surely you're the president of the United States and you know what you're talking about. You know more than I do, so what do I know? You just accept it. But a bigger part was wanting to pay for school and financially. I grew up in the poorest county in New Jersey. My mom was an illegal immigrant for over 20 years, and my dad didn't really hold down a job. Yeah, so I enlisted. A lot of people will join the National Guard to pay for school and also thinking you're gonna serve your local community. I had joined right when Hurricane Sandy happened, and so I saw a lot of people that I knew who had recently joined doing like work within our community, helping locally. I didn't do any of that. Like I got sent to Djibouti to protect drones. So Shebeli Airfield's like remote airfields where drones are stationed, and it's the Air Force. And so my role on deployment was I was a platoon leader, which is the officer in charge of security forces and maintaining security of the airfield essentially and the aircraft there. I think a lot of people are just doing their jobs. I mean, again, I think that's very much by design, not just in the military, but in the broader general public is, I don't know, it's so ingrained into you that you don't question, why are we here? What are we doing? What are we supporting? They talked about like Al-Shabaab a lot, the terrorist organizations in the region. A couple times, like the pilots would pull us in and be like, look, we got I remember they had killed some kind of, I don't remember, maybe Al-Shabaab commander, and they like showed us the video as if it was nothing, and it was uncomfortable, but
What was the video?
it was just them dropping a bomb and then like the aftermath. I don't think we saw much after, but I know like they hit a car, and then after things kind of cleared up, some people ran up, and like I don't know who was really in that car. But I remember like the first time we drove from Camp Lemonnier to Shebeli Airfield, and you're going down this road, and on one side you have a huge refugee camp, like tent city. And so when I'm seeing all these tent cities in Gaza now, I'm like, that looks just like what I saw there, because it's all these refugees literally making a little hut out of garbage that they found on the side of the road. So you have that on one side as you're driving, and then on the other side you have this big, beautiful university with a gate around it, built by the French, I think. And just the contrast in the two blew my mind, because for me that was my first time abroad. Because I don't know, I think some people think, oh, we're going there and we're giving them jobs because we're helping them build infrastructure and whatever. I'm like, not really. Most of the people that you see working civilian jobs on base, yeah, maybe some of them are locals, but you have a lot like brought in from the Philippines or wherever else. Like we're harming those communities a lot. I started to kind of put things together, and between Russia and Ukraine, and then especially Palestine, I was just like, whoa, this is all a lie. From October 7th, I remember like going to drill after that and standing in front of all these soldiers, these new recruits. Some of them haven't gone to basic training yet, like they're like brand new. Looking at the room, right? And seeing like the demographic of which buses are the fullest when they come in the morning. Jersey City, Newark, Vineland, the poor areas. You have so many new recruits, and they're not majority white either. They're Black, brown communities that are targeted. How am I going to stand there and tell them, you need to believe in this cause, you're going to fight for something good, you're going to serve your country, and be a part of something bigger than yourself. I couldn't stand there and lie to them anymore. And why is that the only option that our poor communities have? Had I had like an option where I could do artwork and have money for school and healthcare, I would have done that instead. I cannot wrap my head around seeing the images that we're seeing and knowing how many billions of dollars that we're sending over there of our taxpayer money, and just being okay with that or choosing to ignore that. Like, I'm not comfortable with that. I think it's also really important for veterans to speak out because it gives the general population hope to think, wow, if they can overcome all of that propaganda and all of the lies they've been fed in the service, then there's hope for humanity as a whole.